Alright, let's take a look at this map. Oh boy, there's a crest beast. Looks like we've got a few magic users, about a third of the enemy army. Defended out the enemy. Does that just mean the red units, or does that mean the red and the yellow units? 77 hit points. Heartseeker's not that bad. 34 attack kind of is. Vital defense is nothing to really worry about. Just drags things out a little bit. A rusty lance that can be forged into Gradius, which was a legendary lance. I believe the original Fire Emblem, as well as Shadow Dragon. Probably a couple of the other games in the series too that I can't recall at the moment. Gradius in them. I think it might have been an Awakening as like a DLC spot pass deal. Maybe Fates. Poison Breath bumps them up to 39 attack power. Attack speed of 12, which is fairly high. There's all the poison stuff I have to worry about. So, it will be possible to beat him, but it won't be incredibly easy. Standard units, running around with 30 attack now. The enemy mages are not particularly powerful, but they are kind of fast. So, if this battle goes like this, the red units come after me, I wipe them all out, and then I wipe out the crest beast, and the battle doesn't end prematurely, that's fine. And that will work out. I don't think this will be all that difficult. There might be reinforcements or something interesting happening, but I kind of doubt it because it's a random skirmish. If it excuse me, becomes the case that I have to beat the King of Beasts before the red enemies swarm me, or like somehow manage the red army while fighting the yellow army, then things become a lot more complicated and tricky. So I'm going to act on the assumption that I don't have to defeat the yellow unit before all the red units, and if that results in early termination and I lose my rusted lance, I will be sad, but I don't think I'm going to restart for it. I will do it for science. Alright, so I think I should start by checking my units. My deployment hasn't changed. I'm going to swap Bernadetta for Leone, just for the bonus damage. I guess Leone has superior defense too. Ingrid. They're pretty good defensively. Sylvain, he's ready to be promoted into a Fortress Knight finally, but he can't be yet. Lagging behind the rest of the group here. Got our army of archers, we've got Dimitri and Mercedes as support. Crest Beast will help me. Oh.
Stay focused.
Let
the lesson begin.
Might as well do it.
You fought well. Your support is appreciated. I'll cut through. Saw that coming. I'm on it. What should I do? Weak.
To work.
I might actually want that rusty lance.
Ready. I'll give it my all.
So much so that I might be willing to abandon learning exactly what happens if you beat all of the red units without beating the yellow unit.
I'll celebrate later.
Boring. Not what I was hoping for.
As far as that, no. Ash can go one further. But if we move him one further, he'll get attacked by physical unit. He's much better well, he's only slightly better versus enemy mages, I suppose. But they have lower attack, too.
Here we go.
At least in this case. It's overkill. But it gets the job done.
Too easy.
Weak.
I call that a win. Can I get a do-over?
I mean, it erases their hit rate. Why would you do that? There's nothing to be gained by doing that.
Nice try.
The AI can do some perplexing things at times. Lucky.
You never had a chance. I'm getting stronger.
Quite good.
I can feel
A change for the better.
that is that. Another step forward.
Speed was the main relevant one.
Give up. The better to serve His Highness.
3 defense. 51 HP. It's pretty hard to kill. As of my last snapshot of the Death Knight, I think he might be able to survive. Do I even need to give Felix any more experience? He's just so ridiculously powerful. I feel the need to, you know, strengthen the units that aren't as blessed.
Another one down.
Like, I'm gonna use Felix to one-shot this King of Beasts, or whatever the name of this beast is. King of Beasts, okay. Yeah. I don't know if he might need to use the silver bow to do it, but I'm pretty sure he can just take down his second HP bar in one attack. He's not fair. Which is fortunate, because it's nice to have something like that that you can pull out and use when, you know, you're surrounded by a bunch of enemies and need one out of the way immediately. And it doesn't really break the game, because if there's enough pressure and you're trying to play such that none of your units die, you try to avoid making horrible positioning mistakes, blundering into a bad situation, then one really strong unit that can kill anything in the game, essentially, that isn't a boss, isn't enough to bail you out of every situation that you'll find yourself in. And I'm glad that's the case. Because if you could just have one really overpowered unit and be able to run through the game without issue, That gets kind of boring. Alright, so those enemies have not started moving yet. Alright, King of Beasts versus King of Fargus. Future King of Fargus and his army. Here we go. I should probably do that this way. Because I just take so much movement penalty from the stairs, it's more efficient to go around.
Thank you.
My technique could use some polish. I can help.
Let's begin.
Yeah. It's, you know, they'll have 5 HP left. I kind of want to know how much damage Ash needs. Oh, not very much. Alright. So we can use the Iron Bow with Felix.
I'm starting to see results.
Quite good. $110 base HP. And it's after going through like a 70 and a 60, I think. So, this is a very beefy enemy.
Nothing.
We're just shredding through all of his hit points in one turn. I think we reached a point of scaling where offensively we're pretty good. And it's really the defensive side of things that's kind of lacking. Yeah, Dimitri will be safe right where he is, I think.
Quite a
Barriers back up. I see she's not quite in range to use the fusillade. How about now? Yep, that'll do.
Our strength is yours.
There's our opening.
I love that animation. That'll do it.
Threat eliminated.
Archers get to exploit the terrain when there are gaps that are difficult to cross like that. I like taking cheap shots that can't be countered on the enemy because it's a pretty easy way of effectively winning in most instances. You do have to worry a lot about staying out of the danger zone and watching out for getting killed in one hit, but if you can manage those things, having archers, this game is pretty solid. Because you have close counter, and you can attack it, 5 to 6 range with certain setups.
It's just not my day.
So, it seems like my plan to have armors and archers worked out pretty well so far. Although the Death Knight is basically a hard counter to my entire army. My armors are slow enough and don't have enough defense or HP, and so he can just rip right through them in one round if he could. And my ranged units don't have enough defense or HP to do it either, and he has an infinite range counter. So, I don't know if he would be able to counter a Gambit. So, it might be possible to kill him with Gambit spamming. When next we meet, I might have to try that. Another sort of insidious problem is, essentially the weaker weapons, like the training axe, have low weight. And weight management becomes a problem because if you want to have a heavier weapon that does more damage, like it's the Death Knight, so that you can get through his pretty high defenses, you wind up slowing yourself down to the point where he can double you. So, he's really a dangerous enemy. I like enemies that like make you stop and think like that a little bit. I'm not so keen on things like the Death Knight where you look at them and the only solution is run away, because you just can't survive it without taking a risk. It's sort of, feels like they've taken the puzzle, hidden the solution for it. But it also sort of builds his character as a threat. So, you know, the first time you see him, you determine he's a huge threat. The second time, you already know, and so you start booking it. The third time, same deal.
I'm getting much better.
I'll keep it simple. Ha! I call that a win. I'm aiming high.
That battalion isn't
Not bad
very
at
good.
all.
Bunch of plus zeros. It seems like the low-rank militias don't give much of a... or, sorry, battalions, not militias. That one's named a militia. A little confusing. They're all just names for armies, really. Anyway, the low-rank ones don't give you much in the way of bonuses, but anyone can use them. Whereas the good ones require you to have a certain authority rank, and then you basically have to throw out your progress with your old battalion and start anew. And some of them have bad stat bonuses, but very compelling active gambits. And so when you activate the gambit, it does something really cool, or really powerful. And that almost makes it worth not having the stats. I really like the gambit system, but I feel like it needs to show up more prominently on the screen. A lot of the times I forget it's even there.
No hesitation.
Should I have held back?
Great work.
Anyway, I've sort of rambled on a bit about more general views on the game and other battles while this battle's going down, because this isn't really that challenging.
Who's next?
I have high hopes for Lunatic difficulty when it does come out. I think that will keep things interesting and fresh for quite some time. Instruct manually. I always instruct manually. I don't even know what auto tutor does. It can't be trusted because it's unknown. Could probably experiment it or experiment with it and try to figure it out, but I mean, at that point, I might as well just start skipping the story as well and just skipping straight to the battles. And I kind of want to see everything as I go. So I can get him to C in authority.
I appreciate your efforts. It's in my grasp.
And then random lances.
I appreciate your efforts. I've deepened my understanding. I have deepened my understanding.
And I'm doing that because Fortress Knights, I believe, have bonuses to axe and lance experience, as well as heavy armor experience while you're in the class. But they only get the damage bonus for axes. So, I guess one reason to use lances is if you have a personal crest weapon, like Ingrid or Sylvain. But outside of that, I'm not really sure of any great reason to use one, given that the weapon triangle isn't in this game. You could probably construct a situation in which it makes sense. Like, where the weight difference between an axe and a lance is the difference between doubling an enemy or being doubled by them.
No problem.
Point blank volley. That's an interesting one, because I think that lets you follow up with a combat art and attack in melee with a bow.
I will master this. Nothing to get excited about. I've learned a lot.
I got it? Oh, thanks, Professor. That's real nice of you to say. I feel... I got it?
Let's... Of course I was right. What now? Do I get a reward?
The reward is more training.
Of course I was right. Of course I was right.
Is a hidden talent in bows. Or budding talent, I think they've called them. If there was a magic bow, I would be tempted to try this. I don't think I can instruct anyone. Yeah. So I have to waste a point.
Professor!
Stain sniper.
How's How's that, Professor? If you ask me, I think we did pretty well.
Yes, Sylvain put his back into it for once. Next thing we know, pigs will be taking to the air.
I'm getting much better.
You've done me a great service.
So, I think renown is the primary reward there. Sylvain, bump him into the advanced Fortress Knight class. Looks like we could give him Warrior. But, I like defense more.
Huh, okay. Nope.
I'm not really sure how the stat modifiers when you change class work. Like when you pass an exam, sometimes you get stat buffs, sometimes you don't. And they're like different between characters, it seems like. So I don't know if they pull you up to like a certain threshold or exactly what the mechanics are there. But it's not like in some of the older Fire Emblems where you would just use an item to promote a character to a different class, and depending on the class you would get a set buff for that class. Like everyone who promotes into Swordmaster gets +3 speed or whatever. Beta is the other one advanced. Bow A or higher. Does she not have bow A or higher? Only B. Well, we're gonna have to work on that. Reason in post. I think it's probably better to just rest. Because I don't really want to do these auxiliary battles. That feels almost like grinding at that point. I have a bunch of battles that I'm just doing to make my powerful characters even more powerful relative to the enemy. And if you get too far ahead of the enemy, things stop being challenging, and that's no fun. So holding yourself back a little can actually make things more fun. I do want to see about the blacksmith in Gradivis, though. Oh boy, how do I find it? I think I sent it to the convoy. Swords. Rusted lance. And mithril. How do you get mithril? You need professor level A+. Well, I guess, at least I have that for later. Looks like we can hire up to C. Purchasing. There's a bunch of magic ones with magic gambits in here that I've never tried. I've never tried assembly, which sort of gives you some control over the position. The reason I don't like these kinds of gambits, like I think onslaught and assembly, is even though you have a way of moving the enemy around, it's not reliable, so you can't count on it unless you can manage to get the hit rate on these up to 100%, which is a little tricky. Recovery Roar is essentially one cast of not recover, restore. Gets rid of status effects. I don't think that's a particularly good gambit. I think if you were going to use this, you'd do it for the protection and physical attack. I mean, Recovery Roar can probably save you in a pinch, but I'd rather have a group heal or, you know, an impregnable wall. Or a Fusillade. The Fusillade isn't great as far as the damage goes. And I don't think the bonuses are particularly great either. But it looks really cool. Anyway, the main thing I do with battalions is replenish them after every battle. Archers. Saros Archers. We'll give her Saros Archers. Because they're going to be better than this T-rank militia that she's currently got on. I don't think Bernadetta has a battalion. But we can give her the Kingdom Archer, probably. No, she's not high enough right now. Oh. Give her the militia then. Alright, let's watch some support conversations. So there are multi-stage ones for some of these, where there's the little double arrows, or I think there are triple arrows in some cases over them. I think that means there's multiple support conversations before the rank actually goes up.
Your Highness, I have a little favor to ask of you.
Of course. How may I be of assistance?
Well, I was hoping you could tell me about my father. I imagine he was a very different man at home than he was at work.
Ah, so you wish to hear about the Gustav that I knew. As you know, he was a knight who served the royal family since my grandfather's reign. To me, he was a teacher of martial arts and tactics. He was someone I depended on since I was a small child. But he was also a very stern and strict instructor.
That doesn't surprise me. He was much the same at home. He'd chide us if we made mistakes, whether it was with cooking or even how we spoke.
Is that so? Funny. I suppose in front of his family he felt the need to demonstrate proper etiquette.
Wait, are you saying that's not how he was around you?
Even all these years later, there's something I recall with perfect clarity. It happened in the autumn of my 11th year. Before the break of dawn, he woke me suddenly, said he'd heard a disturbance and had me grab my bow. Then he set me and a fellow pupil loose on a dark mountain. Our only directive was to go catch a deer. As you well know, autumn in the capital is very cold. Now, imagine being up on the mountain at night with no idea what might jump out from the shadows. That, in a nutshell, is the Gustav I knew.
I can hardly imagine that. He was completely different with me.
I recall one other defining detail. He used to speak of you at every possible opportunity.
Really? What would he say about me?
Are you sure you want to know? There's one story he used to tell from when you were very small.
No, stop! It's probably too embarrassing to bear. Is it?
Perhaps.
Look, I'll promise to forget the stories he told me about you if you return the favor. Deal?
Yes, that seems the only thing to do. It's a promise. Ingrid, I've been doing some thinking, and it occurs to me that I owe you an apology.
What? Why do you seem so serious?
In a just world, you would be happily married to Glenn. He truly loved you, and it's clear that you care deeply for him as well. But on that awful night, he died right before my eyes. I could do nothing to prevent it. In a way, I'm responsible for you losing the joyous future that should have been yours. I know my words can change nothing, but I'm so sorry, Ingrid.
No, Your Highness. There's no need to apologize. Glenn's death, it still doesn't feel real. I always looked up to Glenn. He was the very picture of a perfect knight, noble and virtuous. In the end, he laid down his life, the ultimate sacrifice. I feel proud of him in ways that words can't quantify.
Proud? Truly?
That's right. I feel proud that he died for those he was sworn to protect. Proud that he passed from this realm to the next as a perfect knight.
Are you really trying to turn his needless death into an ideal to uphold? You and he are so alike.
Needless death? How can you say that? Glenn gave his life for you, for everyone, and this is how you speak of his sacrifice?
You weren't there. You didn't witness his last moments. If you had, you wouldn't feel that way.
I don't care to hear your interpretation of his final moments. He was and will always be an ideal knight.
You would do well to rethink that ideal, my friend.
Pardon me? He served in your guard. He took great pride in what he did, in protecting you. The very least you can do is not spit on his memory. If you'll excuse me.
What is the matter with me?
An awful lot of fighting in these support conversations in this game.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
How long did you expect me to stand here?
I did just say sorry, but I could say the same to you. You were pretty slow to settle on a time.
I can't help having a busy schedule. Plus, I thought you could use the extra time to prepare.
We could go back and forth like this all day. Or we could get started.
You were the one who kept me waiting. Let's begin.
On my signal?
Hurry up.
That's better. Okay, go!
Let's see what you... Huh? Ah! Oh, a pit trap?
That's right. How you feeling down there?
Coward!
Say what you want, but Captain Gerald taught me this one. You're heavier than you look.
I'll admit, I wasn't expecting that.
If this were for real, you'd be dead. Aren't you glad I put straw down there instead of spikes?
Yes, I underestimated you. I suppose your lateness was a ploy to distract me.
You're not wrong. I did it to rile you up, draw you in. You're capable, confident. I was counting on that. So, what do you think about Captain Gerald's training now?
His technique worked and you won. What else is there to say? Winning is all that matters. You drew my attention to a major vulnerability. I'll need to be wary of traps. Thank you, Leone.
Seeing as you're thanking me, can I ask you a favor? Will you come watch my next training session? I'd like a few pointers about fighting in close quarters.
The loser must pay tribute, I suppose. Yes, I'll help you train.
You will? Thanks!
So full. That fruit plate really hit the spot. Time to get nice and snug. Maybe do some sewing.
Hey, you Bernadetta. You look pretty happy. Celebrating something?
What? No, nothing at all.
Hey, relax. It's okay if you'd rather not tell me. By the way, I believe you left something in the library. A half-written manuscript? Your own work, I presume? I was curious who it belonged to and gave it a read-through. You're a really talented writer. I'm sorry. I peeked at the first page, then the next, and I couldn't stop. I think it's good enough to publish. It's the kind of adventure story that will make people laugh and cry. I love how you never know what mess the hero is going to get herself into next. I'm dying to read more. Your mouth's hanging wide open. Bernadetta, are you okay?
Sorry, was someone talking about a story?
Yes, that would be me. I read your book.
You read my book?
Yeah, and I loved it.
I'm so humiliated. Please forget everything you read.
Humiliated? No, I think the word you're looking for is humbled, because... And she's gone. Now, what do I do with this book?
Oh, we actually read it. I regret everything. Even if I burn the pages, I can't burn his memory. Not unless I throw him in the fire, too. No, that's awful. Don't think things like that, Bernie.
Hey,
Hey, Leonie. I mean, hello, beautiful. What brings a sweet girl like you to a place like this?
I just came to the greenhouse to look at flowers. What's with you?
Nothing much. Nothing much. I was just thinking about how sunflowers don't deserve to be stuffed away in a greenhouse. They'd bloom better out in the open, just like you.
Could you cut the weird metaphors and just say what you want to say? Oh, wait. I get it. I'm not ladylike enough to fit in with all the pretty flowers.
No, okay, that compliment backfired. Let me try a different angle.
This is a joke, right? Tell me this is a joke.
What have you got against sunflowers anyway? I think they're lovely myself. If you think I only care about delicate flowers raised in a greenhouse, you've got me all wrong. Statuesque sunflowers, blooming proud and tall in the open air, have a beauty all their own.
Is that right?
You better believe it. And the same goes for you. You have a beauty unlike any other. I look at you and I see sunflowers.
Look, can you just go back to normal?
At this point, I feel like anything I say is just going to make you more angry.
Why are you suddenly not capable of carrying on a normal conversation?
My eyes have been opened to the charms of the beautiful flower blooming right beside me. It's a whole new day for my heart.
You can quit messing with me at any time.
I'm not. I'm absolutely serious. You really are as charming as any flower. I see that now.
Would you stop? This is getting weird.
Even sincerity doesn't work? What kind of flirting is going to satisfy you? You know what? I'm just going to leave you alone for now, so I can get a fresh start some other time.
Right. Bye. Charming? Me, of all people. Like I'd actually believe that. Stupid.
Back to the sad music. sad music that makes Byleth want to spend all day in bed.
I got it right? Phew. Thanks. That's reassuring. I did pretty well today.
I have deepened my understanding.
It seems I failed to understand. Apologies. I will try harder. That was helpful coaching. All due to your coaching. It's all coming together. Thanks. I'm a bit embarrassed. This will be useful.
Professor. Let's do this right.
I'm glad for your help. Happy now?
Professor.
remember this, Professor. That look on Dedue's face means he thinks the food is pretty tasty.
Ooh, this is my favorite. You've got great taste.
This looks delicious. Let's eat.
That looks appetizing.
That looks delicious.
It's, really tasty.
Yeah. Please, help yourself.
I appreciate any good meal, but nothing beats enjoying my favorite food.
This is so good. Can I have seconds?
Yeah, you just get it, Professor. This is my favorite.
This is nearly as delicious as Mother's cooking. I would happily eat this every day. Hey, you. Singing is so much.
This is no.
Need something? This one? You're all set. This one? You're all set. See you again soon.
Professor.
Here you are again. I see.
The flowers you helped to water are in bloom now. Have a look. Indeed. My sister was fond of this one in particular. It never came up. Duscur is a dead land. Its flowers were all trampled under the boots of soldiers. But seeing this blossom brings back memories. I do not know why I am telling you all of this. There is little to tell. But if you are from Fodlan, you must know what became of the people of Duscur. The people who betrayed their allies from Fargus. The ones who were punished for regicide. The Duscur are shunned for their crimes, even now. It would be in your interest not to spend any more time around me than necessary. You may think little of it now, but your reputation will eventually suffer. But, to be completely candid, it pleases me to be able to speak with you like this. If you truly do not mind, I would be glad to receive more visits from you in the future.
Professor, have you heard? They say we finally located the enemy. It seems they're hiding in the sealed forest, right near the monastery. Lady Rhea has summoned all of the knights to return and take them down. And all of this is being done in secret. Why? To keep us... no. To keep you in the dark. Lady Rhea likely assumed you wouldn't be able to stop yourself from confronting the enemy if you knew their location. But that is not how the story ends, is it? Professor, we're at the ready. Order us to depart, and we'll fight at your side.
No, I will not allow it.
This discovery comes just when the knights are at their busiest. It is all too likely that our foes revealed themselves to lure you out there. They are the ones who took Geralt from you. I know how you must despise them, but I must ask you to rein in your personal feelings for now.
Please, Professor, do not act carelessly. I ask that you leave this to us. Losing you so soon after losing Geralt would be unbearable.
Lady Rhea, Seteth, please try to understand our reasoning before you refuse. With most of the knights still far away, we cannot afford for you two to leave the monastery undefended. The enemy's strength is yet unknown. The only warriors who likely stand a chance are those who wield relics. With all that in mind, it's obvious who should be dispatched, is it not? If the professor leaves, we will go as well. We've already made preparations and are ready to depart at a moment's notice. Surely you must see that we cannot wait any longer for the knights to gather. Please, do what must be done and give us the order.
Professor, do you agree with this strategy? Understood. I will give you the order. Destroy the enemy that is hiding in the sealed forest. You have the protection of the goddess on your side. Whatever happens, you shall overcome.
No matter what enemy we face, we will not fail. I promise you that.
In the next one, we'll actually go in pursuit of justice for Geralt.